Hey there folks, I have got a mix of some good and bad news for you today. First, the bad news. Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usik has been postponed.
My friend, Tyson Fury, ready 23 December. Are you ready?
Usik has to fight me in December, doesn't have a choice. He signed a contract, so if he doesn't, he's breached contract and he gets sued. Put the biggest fight of our generation on, the fight of the century, for the Undisputed Championships of the world. See you all sometime next year. Have a good Christmas if I don't see you, and a Happy New Year.
Oh, look at this guy.
But here is the silver lining. Francis Ngannou, the man who came inches away from pulling off the greatest upset in professional boxing history, is gearing up to make his triumphant return to the world of mixed martial arts. And he is ready to complete the trilogy with Stipe Miocic. Who's next for the Predator? Who is brave enough to step into the cage with a man who nearly took down a boxing titan?
How do you think Dana White feels about what happened on Saturday?
Who cares?
I think his ego ran away with him, big time. I can tell you that his ego absolutely didn't run away with him. The minute that happens to you in the fight game, you see what happens.
Let's dive into the intriguing possibilities that await Ngannou in the world of MMA. So stay tuned, folks. But before we dive into the video, I would like to kindly ask you to please hit that like and subscribe button. We are on the brink of reaching 65,000 followers, and your support really does mean the world to us. The current World Heavyweight Boxing Champion, Oleksandr Usik, commented on the information that his unification fight with the current WBC title holder, Tyson Fury, has been postponed. According to the Ukrainian, he knows nothing about the postponement of the fight and signed a contract for the fight, which does have a specific date of December 23rd. Uncle Frank is saying some cowardly things, Usik said in an interview with Boxing King Media. We have a contract that says the fight should take place on December 23rd. Let Fury vacate the title and rest as long as he wants. Tyson, we have to fight. We have to do this on December 23rd. See you in the ring. Now, after the end of the fight, Tyson managed to carry out a stagnation with Oleksandr Usik. It was obvious to everyone that this was not the ordinary Gypsy King to which they were accustomed. He was clearly not happy with his performance.
Francis is gonna win it. What? Oh my gosh! I definitely thought Francis was gonna take that. Wow. Bro.
Top promoter Frank Warren did not miss the signs that Tyson Fury was not at his best. With a discerning eye, Warren hinted at the importance of giving the Gypsy King time to recover, suggesting,
23rd of December, are we still going with that?
No, it won't be. It won't be.
What's his injuries? Is there any injuries?
It's a tough fight, and if he goes in, he'd need time out to heal his body. Time that takes, then get back into camp. He'd only have about 5 or 6 weeks training, so it's not going to happen.
Now, we can't agree that Fury in such a state should not go up against Oleksandr Usik because, well, as you saw, the Gypsy King was completely different from what we were used to seeing. Now, the fight with Francis Ngannou was truly one of the worst moments in Fury's career. Therefore, one gets the feeling that Fury will have to do a tremendous amount of work before entering the ring with Usik. The mystery of this situation does lie in the fact that the exact reasons for his suppressed performance, well, they currently remain a bit unclear. Now, we can assume several factors that could have influenced his performance: underestimation of his opponent, or poor preparation and lack of a full-fledged camp. But Fury himself denies this and claims that there was no underestimation of his opponent.
Are you saying that you didn't underestimate Francis at all?
No, didn't underestimate him. I trained for 12 weeks, give it the best preparation I could have done. If I would have listened to the media and all the so-called boxing experts, it's an easy fight, it's a mismatch, it's not worth watching, then I wouldn't have been able to win that fight.
Francis Ngannou's just destroyed his entire life's work in one night. The legacy's over now. Fury isn't as good as we thought. As great as Francis is, the man's 37 and has never had a boxing match in his life. And this is what you get when you try and con the British public into paying all that money for some shit fights. And what you thought was an easy fight against Francis Ngannou, and your greed lands you flat on your f***ing back. You f***ed up when you picked the wrong guy in Francis Ngannou.
When the fight started, one thing, when we get closer and then when we touch gloves, I'm like, let me take you to school. I'm like, you motherfucker, you are not taking me to school. That's why, like, when I knocked him down, I was dancing in front like, you're a bad professor, motherfucker. Like, you're a bad professor. Like, how is that school going? Who is taking who to school? Because for me, it looks like I'm the one taking you to school.
But as the pieces fall into place for what may become one of the most memorable fights in boxing history, the enigmatic circumstances surrounding Tyson Fury's recent performance only add to the intrigue. Francis and his team, well, they did a great job, and they definitely deserved their revenge. Fury said that he would give Ngannou a second chance, but he does need to fight Usyk first. As for Ngannou, who almost pulled off the greatest upset in the history of boxing, is ready to return to mixed martial arts. And guess what? He wants to complete the trilogy with Stipe Miocic. The Cameroonian reported on social media saying, I called out John Jones, but I can take the fight with Stipe while I wait for him to return. Now, Stipe Miocic was scheduled to fight John Jones on November 11th, but last week the current UFC heavyweight champ was injured and then pulled out of UFC 295. And the title fight has since been postponed until next year. Now, previously, Miocic and Ngannou had 2 fights with each other. In January 2018, the American successfully defended the UFC heavyweight title, defeating Ngannou by unanimous decision after 5 rounds. And then in March of 2021, the Predator took convincing revenge from the champion, knocking him out in the 2nd round. Now, as you know, Ngannou is committed to the PFL, so the most logical scenario would be for Ngannou to face the PFL heavyweight champ. But such a fight is unlikely to cause a pretty serious stir. However, it would benefit from the...
I scored at 95-94 for Tyson Fury because, as Eddie Hearn said, there were rounds where neither one of them did anything. But I think that you have to give credit to him, Jamel.
I don't think he made many adjustments.
He did, Jamel.
Now, we rewatched the fight, and I took 2 rounds back from Tyson Fury and gave them to Ngannou.
Y'all all doing that. Y'all know Francis. Y'all like Francis. So y'all trying to score the fight for Francis. Bro, I lost to John Jones in the first fight, and I think you 3 months might have been like, man, it might have been 3-2 you. No, it was not 3-2.
I was walking out the arena, thought you got robbed. I'm trying to
fight. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got robbed. That was in the moment, though. That was in the arena. But when you watch it back, obviously you see, okay, we didn't win it.
Fight.
I was like, man, they got robbed, dog.
That's the craziest thing in the world.
Now, at the upcoming 10th numbered tournament of the PFL on November 24th, Denis Goltsov will square off against Renan Ferreira, and the winner will set to claim $1 million, a championship belt, and the admiration of the MMA world. Additionally, they would also gain the theoretical opportunity to step into the cage with Francis Ngannou. And after his high-profile bout with Tyson Fury, Ngannou's popularity and media exposure have now skyrocketed. This added visibility can be leveraged by the PFL to attract more fans and viewers to their events. Ngannou's problem facing his departure from the UFC, though, is the limited number of heavyweight stars outside of the organization. The heavyweight division is one of the most prestigious and exciting divisions in mixed martial arts, and finding quality opponents, well, it can be pretty challenging, especially for a fighter that is as talented as Ngannou. However, we do believe that the PFL is an organization that can provide Ngannou with some interesting and quality heavyweight fights that many fans are going to enjoy. But one thing is certain, the PFL provides an excellent opportunity for Ngannou to continue his career and demonstrate his undeniable power and skill in the cage. And we as fans, well, we can only hope that we will soon see the Cameroonian knockout artist in action sometime soon.